Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Emily. I hope you're having a great day. I missed doing videos so much when I was away for work, and I'm just really happy to be back and doing a full bougie spread. It feels so me, and I just am so happy with how this spread turned out. So this is the week I'm memory planning for whenever I moved into my new apartment, which is May 31st through June 6th. And I'm using a mini kit from Caress Press. I don't remember what it's called, but you guys saw the little flip through. And then I'm using Bougie Box overlaid tapes from Rose Colored Days. And yeah, that's pretty much my base. Guys, this week was so stressful and exhausting. I can't even, but I'm so glad it's over with now. And yeah, I will definitely get into that story in this video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into everything that happened for the week and like what all went on during this chaotic move. I feel like I probably over dramatize it because it just felt a lot, and I am a bit of a dramatic person when things happen to me, but because I don't know, I feel like other people, when they talk about moving, they're just like, yeah, I moved, whatever. But for me, I'm like, I never want to go through what I did to myself again. And it wasn't like all my fault. It was like just the timing and being far away from people that could help me. And just because this was literally the week right before I start work, because I actually had to fly out on Sunday to go do my training, and then I start work on the Monday after this week. So it was like just crazy. So basically the day I moved was Tuesday. So Monday, okay, so the week before this, Saturday and Sunday, I worked, so I didn't have time to pack up my house then, but I did pack some things after work, but not like majority of it. So me and my boyfriend, we moved together. So we had like a lot of our stuff packed up, and we didn't really realize how much we didn't have packed up. So we basically spent all day Monday packing the rest of the house, and we just had like a little bit of things left over that we didn't pack. So that was that. Monday was okay. And we also did sell our TV stand on Facebook because it was just so big and I hated it, so I just wanted to get rid of it. So we sold our TV stand on Monday as well when we were packing, so we had to worry about that. And it was just annoying because it's like really big and it doesn't even fit it fits out of our door, but not out of like the walkway for our door. So we had to take it apart just to get it outside and load it into my boyfriend's truck to go bring it to someone and like re-put it together outside. And it was like in the middle of trying to pack. Like we just did everything so last minute, but like it was really hard not to because we had to work basically all the way up until the week that we move, because like we need money obviously. So yeah, we were just packing everything like really stressfully on Monday. So then on Tuesday, we go pick up the U-Haul, and it's just me and my boyfriend moving. And we don't live in like a regular house where you can just walk out of the door and walk straight to the U-Haul. We live up a whole set of stairs, so that plays into the part that is exhausting us. And then my boyfriend we had a 2-car garage under our apartment complex thing. It's like a standalone apartment is what we had. It was really small, but it did have a 2-car garage that was really small with it. And my boyfriend had a lot of stuff in there too. And we definitely underestimated the size of the U-Haul that we needed because we filled that thing up so much. And yeah, I definitely think we got one that was too small, but oh well, it happened. We learned our lesson. And also the fact that we moved by ourselves was very hard because I've moved many, many times in my life, but it's never been just me and one other person. It's always been like a whole family. So at least like 4 people when I move, which makes the process so much easier and so many more hands and to help and less trips up and down, from your house or place of living to the U-Haul and stuff. So yeah, that just having 2 people was very hard because we had a lot more stuff than we thought, and it's just the way that like our little walkway to our door is set up makes it very hard to like move things in and out. And then also we had to be mindful of keeping the door open because of our cats, and we only have 2 doors in our whole like apartment, which is the bathroom and the bedroom door. And whenever we're moving, they are running around trying to hide, so we can't like put them in a room. And it was crazy, guys. And in the future, I'm definitely gonna ask for help or hire movers and stuff, which we did have to end up hiring movers for moving in. But anyways, so yeah, we're loading up all this stuff on Tuesday morning after we get the U-Haul, and it's so exhausting. It took us like 3 hours to get everything in there and in our cars and stuff, and we did have to leave. Oh my gosh, my cats are just playing in the blinds right now. But yeah, we had to leave our cats there overnight. We left all their cat stuff there because it would just be way too stressful to move the majority of our stuff into the apartment with the cats. So we left them there overnight. We decided to like drive over to our new apartment, and at this point we were just exhausted and dead from doing all this heavy lifting and walking up and down stairs. And obviously you guys know that moving is very stressful, so like doing all this on our own, I did not know it was going to be that hard, honestly. So yeah, so anyways, now we're driving to our new apartment. Everything's good, but we are exhausted. And mind you, he's driving the U-Haul, I'm driving my car loaded with stuff, and it doesn't have AC in it. It is in the middle of, well, it's not summer yet, but it's at the end of spring, almost summer. It's extremely hot outside, and I don't have AC. So after I just did all this heavy loading and stuff, I can't even sit in my car in AC. So I'm completely sweating on the drive there, just feeling so exhausted and hot. I had the window down, but like, it didn't really help because it's like warm air flying at you, Oh, guys, it was horrible, honestly. And so we get to our apartment and we have to pay our first month's rent and get the key and stuff. And so I go up there, I have my checks ready to write, and then the lady is like, oh, sorry, you can't use that check. You have to get a cashier's check or a money order, even though the other person, when we signed the lease, told us we could use a personal check. Now they're saying it's a cashier's check. So we still can't even go in the AC because we can't go in our house yet until we have the money. So then we have to just leave all of our stuff there. My front seat is packed with stuff, and somehow my boyfriend had to squeeze into the car with me, and we had to go and get a money order from the grocery store, drive back, do all that, and then we finally get to the apartment, and we just go in our apartment and just sit in the AC for a little bit. And we decide that we're gonna hire some movers to help us move our stuff in, because we live on the 3rd story, and I think it's 4 like smaller flights of stairs up. So yeah, it's a lot. And also we can't park right in front of our complex. We have to park on the side. So you're walking from the side all the way up these stairs, finally into the apartment, and it's just a lot to do with only 2 people. And we decided that after we loaded all the stuff in that we were going to hire movers. So I was calling people, and the prices were so high because I moved to Virginia, and Virginia is a lot higher cost of living than where I was living in Maryland. So yeah, we finally get some people that can come. They told us they would be there around 4 to 5, and then we get there, and then they call me again and say, okay, 5 to 6. And yeah, they didn't really show up until like almost 6, and it was just, I don't know, I honestly thought they weren't going to come because they kept calling me and being like, hey, we might come a little bit later because we didn't eat any food yet, blah, blah, blah. And then they couldn't find enough people to help us, and then we were going to be stuck trying to unload it by ourselves again because we had to return the U-Haul the next day, and it was just a crazy mess, honestly. And at this point, we didn't know what time they were going to come, so we didn't know if we had time to eat either because we got there, I think we got there at like 4-ish, and they told us they might be there at 5, so we started unloading a little bit. We were gonna unload just small things until they got there to help us, and then they could help us with like bigger, heavier things. And we figured, okay, they're coming soon, so we better not go out and get something to eat because obviously we didn't have any food. We literally just got there, and we hadn't eaten since 8 a.m. before we loaded up the U-Haul, and we were hungry too, and movers called us and said they were hungry. So they said they were going out to get something to eat, so we decided to go out and get Chipotle. And then since we don't know the area, we just Googled the closest one, and it ended up being in the mall, and we didn't have time to go somewhere else. And then so we had to park in a parking garage, go walk into the mall, get the Chipotle, go back to the parking garage and try to drive back. And literally the second that we walked back into the apartment with our Chipotle, they said they're pulling up to our apartment. So we didn't have time to eat, and then we go meet them, and it's only 2 people, so just 2 more people who are exhausted, also have been moving other people all day as well. So it's the 4 of us exhausted, been moving all day, both of us didn't get to eat, and that's the situation we were in. And I'm paying quite a lot for them to help, and they did help us a lot, but also they were very like careless with my stuff, and they were banging our couches against the walls in the hallway moving up here. They chipped my my shelf that goes in my bedroom. They chipped like a whole piece off of it from just like banging it around, and they almost dropped my boyfriend's Xbox. Like, they pulled the box out of the U-Haul and tried to put it on their dolly, and then they kept like almost dropping it, and I'm like, it says Xbox fragile, please be careful. And like, I don't know, they were just getting very like careless because they were so tired and just wanted to get it over with. And I did give them a tip because of course I always want to tip people who are doing a service, you know. It's just, it wasn't the ideal situation for what I thought movers were going to be, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was the majority of that. And we got it done in like an hour and a half, and I had to pay for 2 hours minimum regardless, but I was just happy to get it over with at that point. And we helped them the whole entire time moving. It wasn't just them, so we were extremely exhausted after that, but it was nice to have help. I don't think we honestly could have gotten it done without help. And also, here's a funny thing. So the complex that we moved into has a bunch of kids that like to play outside. And whenever we came and toured the apartment, it was during the daytime when the kids were at school. So we didn't know that the place that we chose for our apartment, because there was many that we toured, was like the main spot for all the kids to hang out because it was during the daytime, obviously. And so in the middle of moving, it's later in the day when kids are off school, there's about 15 to 20 kids right in our pathway playing baseball as we're moving things, and they didn't care that we were moving. They didn't stop, they didn't move out of the way or anything. And I mean, they're kids, I didn't expect them to, but we were literally moving things in and out in the middle of their baseball game because it was the walkway, and I felt like the kids were mad at us and we were annoyed at the kids, and it was just like a whole thing. So that was really fun. Yeah, that was basically the whole situation for moving. And during this, I had been asking my new job people for like all the information for starting our jobs and stuff earlier before we moved, and they were telling us, oh, we'll get it to you. Well, we got the emails in the middle of moving and we had time to briefly look at them, but since we were like so focused on moving and all that, we didn't really like go back and read it again, so it was just stressful for that. And then we realized we had to go get our passports. Like, we had to have our passports like in the process of getting them before we even start work. So we get all this stuff done. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the whole story about how I had to go back the next day on Wednesday and go get my cats and load up more stuff and clean the apartment, because that was a whole thing too. But I don't really have time to tell that story in this video because this has already been taking so long for this story. But yeah, we had to get our passports, my boyfriend and I, because we have the same job. So we made an appointment on Thursday for a place that was an hour away because nowhere near us had appointments available. So we had to drive further to a smaller town to get it done. And of course, what do? I forget some of my paperwork because I was making copies of my birth certificate and I left my original copy in my printer. And so we showed up and I didn't have it. So I had to remake an appointment for Friday in a different place that was also an hour away. And I just felt like a ding dong because I was so stressed this whole week and I was just trying to get stuff done, and then I left my documents in the printer. So that was fun. But anyways, that's all I have to say this week about the stories. I don't really have time for anything else, but I hope you enjoyed this plan with me and this story time about moving. And I am just really happy with how the spread came out, and at least that is a good thing that came out of my moving week, that it was a fun spread. And yeah, so I am using some overlays from Rose Colored Days in pink and blue. They're like frames. And then I also use my silver Caress Press freebie full box overlays that I just put on, and I decided to put these little firework decos on the double box scene of the house to like kind of make it like a celebration, like yay, you moved, and there's like fireworks in the background and stuff. And yeah, that's gonna end out this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. I love you.